G'day boys and girls, we're back again today. It's Colin and we're going to talk about the penalty kick. The penalty kick all over the world for these footballers. It started off in County Armagh and we're going to tell you about that today. Let's sing the wee song Stop and let me tell you.
Stop and let me tell you what the Lord has done for me.
Stop
And let me tell you of the Christ of Calvary. He forgave my sins and He saved my soul. He cleansed my heart and He made me whole. So stop and let me tell you what the Lord has done for me. Stop and let me tell you what the Lord has done for me. Stop and let me tell you of the Christ of Calvary. He forgave my sins and He saved my soul. He cleansed my heart and He made me whole. So stop and let me tell you what the Lord has done for me.
Brilliant song. Now let's go, you footballers. Let's go and you're going to see how to take a penalty kick. Do you think I can score a goal with a penalty kick? We're going to find out. Here we go. Boys and girls, we're in Milford, County Armagh, just outside the city of Armagh. We're in Milford. And this little village is famous, believe it or not, for the penalty kick. Do you like my football top? Well, because it's Northern Ireland, we're thinking, imagine all over the world, millions of children love to play football. And everyone naturally supports their own country. But you didn't know one of the rules in football is the penalty kick. Why is someone given a penalty kick? Because this little boy grew up here called William McCrum. He loved playing football. When he was older, he played for the Milford Football Club in many different games. He was a goalkeeper. He was a big, strong, he was called Big William because he was a big, strong man, and he used to love doing goals because he had no fear. When somebody was going to take a shot, he would dive to save the ball. But one thing he noticed, before the penalty kick came in, there was no such rule. And as the forward of the other team was coming towards him, quite often, do you know what would happen? The defender would then, realising he couldn't catch the striker, he would go behind him and trip him up. And he thought, that's so unfair, because he had a chance to shoot at me, but he never, because he was tripped up, a deliberate foul. So he brought this before the Football Association, and it went to the UK, and as it was then passed into football law, the penalty kick, many different rules. For example, it's 12 yards from the goal. You have to walk out 12 yards, and whenever you came to 12 yards, then the ball is placed down, and every other player must be behind the ball. And then whenever whoever takes the penalty kick, there's only the football keeper, the goalkeeper, stands between the goalpost, and then it's between the striker and the goalie. And if he scores a goal, it's a goal, just like that. And I thought that was a good law, because if that wasn't in place, it was easier then whenever the striker was able to overtake and able to go to, if he was going to score a goal, then it's easier to catch a person. It's easier to catch him, but it's difficult to take the ball from him because the ball's always in front of him. So it was easier just to trip him up as you were running. So that's called cheating nowadays. And if you've done that, then the referee will blow the whistle, and either you'll be sent off, you'll be given a yellow card, or sometimes if it's a deliberate foul, you'll be given a red card and you'll be sent off. Not only that, a penalty then is given. So whenever you pay the penalty, it means you're guilty of breaking a rule in football, and that's why a penalty then is given out. So I think it's a brilliant rule, because whenever I used to play for school in the BB, and I used to be number 9, and when the ball went forward, you would go like lightning, and the only thing in your mind was the goalkeeper and the ball. And it was so annoying if you thought somebody was coming up behind you to trip you up. It means you would have fallen. It ruined the game for everyone, because it it caused dirty play and people were cheating, and of course it would cause people to argue and fight because it wasn't fair to do that. But this man, William McCrum, not only did he love football, he used to love cricket, he used to love rugby, he loved sport, and when he grew up he became a businessman, and he would travel all over Northern Ireland and to many parts of the world. In 1890, that's whenever this was put into law, so over 130 years ago, the penalty kick is part of football. Not only that, he loved the Scouts, and he was the head of all Scouts, because the Scouts, just like the Boys Brigade, the Girls Brigade, he thought it was a brilliant organisation, which it is, for young people to go out camping, to earn badges, to earn awards, and to go out and to appreciate nature. So William McCrum, in many ways, that's what he's famous for. All over the world, people might not think of William McCrum, but whenever you say the penalty kick, they will know, yes, it's part of football, but they don't realise where it came from. And it came from Northern Ireland in County Armagh, this little village, you might never have heard of it, called Milford. I don't think it's even got a shop. It doesn't have a school. But yet from here, this little boy went to school in Armagh, went to the Royal High School, and then he done so well for himself. And he's remembered especially for the home of the penalty kick here in Milford, County Armagh, the wee boy William. And little he realised when he went and he thought, that's so wrong what they're doing, and he spoke out against it, and he was so strong in his mind that he kept pushing and pushing until it was made into law that there must be a penalty whenever someone is kicked, called a penalty kick. And I think it's a brilliant idea. Whenever you think of football, if there's a penalty kick, the team says, yes, we've got a brilliant opportunity now to score a goal. And that's like life. If you play football and you deliberately foul, well then you'll get a yellow card or a red card, or you'll be sent off. Therefore in football you just can't do what you like. You kick the ball, you don't kick other people. And not only that, you don't hand the ball. And there's offside, even in a game of football. You might think it's just two teams running after a ball, but there's rules in the game to play the game fairly, and it's like life. There are rules in life for life to be living fairly. And if you break the rules, and if you push people and you call people names, you trip people up and you kick them, if you do that, you break the rules of life, you break the law, and as a result, you'll be punished. And it's like going to court. Whenever somebody does a crime, they have to pay the penalty. And sometimes they'll go to court and they'll go to prison for breaking the rules. So even in a game of football, that's never going to happen. But if you really love the game, you deliberately trip someone up, remember, you could be sent off, and quite often, as a way of punishment, you will have to miss your next number of games. Why is that? To teach you a lesson and every other player that if you break the rules, you must pay the price. And a footballer loves to play football, and he certainly doesn't like to miss any games. And if he realises if he trips somebody up, deliberately fouls, he will have to pay the price of missing games or a yellow or red card going against him. So penalty kick is one of the important rules of football, and it made me think, no matter where you go to in Brazil or Asia or Africa, where kids love to play football, they know if they're tripped up, the whistle blows and they're awarded a penalty kick. And that the idea came from a little boy called William, who loved the game of football, and he thought such a brilliant idea to have the penalty kick. It was put into football law, and I thought such a wonderful idea. So when you say to school today, love the game of football, love sport, run as best you can, and remember, in 100 years from now, somebody could be remembering you for being a great sports person, a great entrepreneur, a great any type of sport, for doing something for your country. And that's why this is Northern Ireland, another Northern Ireland special, because of a little boy called William who really loved the sport of football, and he thought the penalty kick is something I can bring. And little he realised the impact it could have right across the world. And you can have an impact in your school, in your community, in your town, in your county, in your country, and even across the world. But sometimes you might think, I'm not very important. I can never do that to influence my friends, influence my country, or influence the world. But you know who you can influence? You can influence your friends for God. You can influence your country for God. You can influence the world for God, because God wants people who love Him, people who stand up for Him, people who keep the laws of God, and people who do not break the laws of God. The world today often break the laws of God because they no longer in many ways respect God or honor God or obey God. But God loves people who obey him, respect him, and honor him. And that's why sometimes we try to please people, and we'll not always do that. But one person you can't please in life, and that's God. And he loves it when children give their heart to God, give their life to God, and want to follow him every day by keeping his laws and keeping his commandments. And so when you're out playing football, you see penalty kick, you see the different rules. Remember that one of the most important rules of football is a penalty kick, and it came all the way from Milford, County Armagh in Northern Ireland. I'm going to get the ball and play some football. Very interesting story about the penalty kick all the way from just outside Armagh. So that's one of our Northern Ireland 100 assemblies every day, Monday to Friday. We're putting them up right up to the end of June. Then we're going to keep them going September until we get to number 100. Let's finish our assembly, This Little Light of Mine. Remember that one? Good exercise for you footballers.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Let him shine, let him shine, let him shine. I will stomp my feet, and I will clap my hands and shout, shout. I will run around, and I'll jump off the ground and shout, shout. I will stomp my feet, and I will clap my hands and shout, shout. I will run around, and I'll jump off the ground and shout, shout. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I will stomp my feet, and I will clap my hands and shout, shout. I will run around, and I'll jump off the ground and shout, shout. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Brilliant song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let him shine. Great assembly today, and I'm going to go now and practice my penalty kicks, and I'm going to hopefully get better. Don't you be laughing at me missing those goals. I didn't try. See you next time. Bye.